I'm Kanisha Berry, relationship life coach. I help people get very clear about who they are so they can create the life they want. I just wrapped up a 6-session program called Journey to Your Best Life with one of my groups. And interesting, this morning, one of the ladies sent me a picture of herself before the group, before she started the work, and after she was doing the work, and she noticed that physically she changed. So guys, there is something powerful in doing deep reflection and understanding yourself at a deeper level. Many of us we're self-conscious, so we might know our strengths and our weaknesses. We might can point to what makes us angry, what makes us mad, but many of us aren't self-aware. Self-awareness is what emotion is triggering me when I'm angry. What thought am I having? How do I respond? Or am I responding or am I reacting? How do I react? And how am I creating my life? Because instead of knowing my cues and being clear about who I am, I'm just completely always reacting to life. So when you get clear about who you are, you understand what's motivating you, what's holding you back, what's stopping you, the thoughts that are controlling you. When you get clear about that, then you can start literally making decisions that are empowering. And that's what's happening with these ladies from my group 1. And they love what we did. They love the work so much that we are working on group part 2. And part 2 of the program is going to help people get clear about their purpose. So I'm really excited. I'm in the process of putting it in order and also writing it. So if this is something, so if you're one of those people who struggle with your purpose, I don't know my purpose, I'm not sure what I was created to do, stay tuned. And that program will start January 2018, because my goal is to help people really live their dreams and goals in the new year, instead of just setting a resolution, finding out why the resolution isn't working and what's holding you back. And part of what's holding us back is fear, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. So it looks like I might be hanging out by myself, but that's okay. You guys can watch this in the replay. I know at home it's a lot going on. We got, I believe it's election night. So, but I do want to just share with you guys a little bit about fear and how fear oftentimes robs us of the life that we was created to have and that we was meant to have, and how it dominates your life, but also how it hides. Fear hides as worry, anxiety, stress. That's another word I hear people say. Fear hides in the I don't know. That's what I think I talked about last week, the lie of I don't know. So many of us don't live out our purpose or our truth because we hide behind, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, I don't know who I'm supposed to minister to or help make a change in their life. So I don't know is also just a fear. It's masquerading fear, it's hiding fear. So there are times you can't even figure out that you're afraid because you don't know what to call it, and you're not even connected to what it is. So is anyone on with me today? So say hello to me. Let me know you're out there. So just to get started, it looks like my connection is really bad this morning. Consider moving to find a better signal. So I want you guys to know this, the one thing I want you to know about fear is that fear is really just a thought. And the thought, many times we have these thoughts just running through our head all day, every day. We don't give attention to it. And then thoughts create these emotions. And we have a feeling, and then from the emotion, we have a reaction. So I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm sad. I'm going to curse this person out. I'm not going to show up for this meeting. I'm not going to make this phone call because I'm scared. What if it goes wrong? It's the thoughts that's playing around in your head that's convincing you of all of these things. And when you can just gather the idea that fear literally is just a thought, This is when you become empowered to decide to switch the thought. So this morning, I was listening to Iyanla Vanzant, and she quoted from a book, I think it's called the book, Abraham Hicks. Haven't ever read their stuff, but I do know of their teaching. And I say there because what I remember about Abraham Hicks is that it's this woman, but then there's this entity, supposedly, that speaks through her. Hey, to each his own. but which is probably why I haven't read her stuff. But one of the things that Iyanla said this morning from one of their books is that it takes 17 seconds for a thought to become an experience. And I was like, wow. Like, think about that. It takes 17 seconds for a thought to become an experience. So if you think, I can't do it, I don't know how, it's never going to work, oh my God, this is going to be the worst day ever. If you think that just for 17 seconds, and you just let those thoughts play around in your head, you're going to leave your environment. You're going to go create that experience. So this morning, Bryson was going through his list of all the things he has to face today, and he thinks it's pretty challenging, it's pretty hard. He was just like in it, in a negative way. He was just going like, oh, I'm not ready, I don't have this, what if I can't get a taxi from the basketball game? Like, he's just all this amazing stuff. And this is 7:30 in the morning, and the experiences he's going to have, some of them are going to happen 9, 10 o'clock the day in the classroom, but he was even projecting out to what's going to happen this afternoon around 5 o'clock. What if I can't get a taxi? Really? So I said to him, Bryson, what thoughts do you need to make this day better? He was like, I wish I had a plan. Okay, well, let's create a plan. And that's what I want to tell you guys, that fear is an invitation to create a plan. Fear is just asking you to get prepared. That's all. So the moment you are faced with something new or something challenging and you are afraid, the fear is just saying, hey, are you ready? You ready? You ready? And if you're not ready, it's just inviting you to get prepared. So when you can slow your mind down or start noticing your thoughts, you'll realize that you have more control over the fear than allowing the fear to constantly have control over you. So I want you to think about what you're thinking about. And I want you to start thinking about, like, when you're feeling afraid, too scared to make the decision, too afraid to make a move, like you have this great idea and you're like, man, if I do this, I can do that, and all these amazing things will happen. And immediately when you start processing the possibilities, fear slides in and goes, no, that's not going to work. Well, do you have enough money? Well, who are you going to contact? People don't know you. You're never going to be powerful enough to do that. So that's fear. And then usually what we do is we go from being excited with this possibility to listening to the scary thoughts of it can't happen, and then you just shut down and you don't make a move. But if you realize that all of that just took place in your head, and all of that just created an emotion, so the excitement creates the emotion and make you think, okay, this is possible, I can do it, which is true, and you can do it. But then the fear comes along and creates the emotion that is impossible, which can also be true. But not because either one of them are more certain or more true than the other one. It's just because which one are you going to believe? Which thought are you going to allow to stay in your mind for over 17 seconds and then go and create that experience? So if you can start realizing that fear is just a thought, fear is just a thought, then start asking yourself, what are the thoughts? What is fear telling me? And so if fear is telling you, I'm not good enough, look for what is that rooted in. Is that rooted in rejection? Because fear thoughts are always, the deeper thought are connected to 4 things. I'm afraid to be rejected. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I'm afraid I'm unworthy. I'm afraid that I'll be out of control or helpless. This is why we worry, because we don't know what the future holds. And so instead of taking a chance, we worry about, oh my God, what if this goes wrong? What's going to happen? So the idea of being out of control and not knowing what's going to happen, many times we do nothing. And so then we create that experience. So remember, 17 seconds takes a thought, 17 seconds to become an experience. So what are you thinking on that's creating these experiences that you have? And what thoughts are creating the fear? And so then once you can begin to narrow down your thinking, slow it down. Think about the thoughts you're thinking that's creating the fear. Ask the thought, is it true? Like, oh, it's impossible. I cannot accomplish this. Ask yourself, is that true? And if you know, like the deep part of yourself, if you know that it's not true, then all you need to do is a new thought that can be true, that you can work from. So I wish I had people on, because I would love to hear what you guys are thinking about this teaching and if it's resonating. So I hope you go back and you listen to this video. And the sooner you can start realizing that your life is a reflection of your thinking. And so what are you meditating on? What are you thinking on the most that's creating the current life you have? So if you want to be more successful, earn more money, have better relationships, get healthier, eat better, work out, all that, you just need a new set of thoughts and goals. And once you start getting those new thoughts and building that out, then you're going to start creating more of the life you want. And that's what I call the magic. The magic is when you're empowered enough to realize, what are you really thinking? So if fear is just a thought, what are you really thinking? What are you telling yourself? I tell my clients, when they deal with negative self-talk or doubt or, this fear, Kenesha, I had a client, she said, I woke up and out of my sleep, and this used to happen to me a lot too, and my mind was bombarded with like all these horrible things that could happen. And so what I tell my clients when they're faced with that kind of thing, and I encourage you, write it down. Like, write down the thoughts that have you up late at night, or afraid to apply for the job, afraid to start the business, afraid to, to change your relationships. Write the thought on a piece of paper. And the moment you see the thought, it's amazing. The moment you can see the thought out of your head but on paper, it becomes less powerful. So in your mind, the thought becomes this huge, big monster, is what I call it a monster. And it feels like it's taken over your life. But the moment you can begin to realize or see the thought on paper, you go like this, not only is this crazy, it doesn't even make sense. So some people have the thought of, nobody loves me. When you write that down, your mind, like the moment you see it, your brain will start thinking of all the people that really do love you. And so then immediately you know that this thought that I have that's controlling my life right now, it's not even true. And because it's not true, then I don't have to move and make decisions and have a behavior to act like nobody loves me. Or I don't have to, like if I write down, I'm not smart. If you have a thought, okay, I want to start a business, but I'm not smart enough to start a business. If you write that down, I'm not smart enough to start a business, and you can see it, then you start thinking of all the amazing things that you have done that proves that you really are smart and you really can do this. So that's why I teach you that fear is just a thought, but you gotta be willing to slow down enough to see what is the thought that you're thinking, so that you can connect to what is it creating in your life. So the thought pops up. What emotion, what feeling is it giving you? Does it make you anxious? Does it make you worry? Does it make you frustrated? Does it make you gossip? So are you so afraid to deal with what you're dealing with that then you just deflect and look at other people's lives and talk about how messed up their life is? What is the fear doing? You ask, is it true? And then you can create a new thought, this is a thought, to help you move towards the life you want. So with Very Thoughtful Life Coaching, that's all we do. All we do is help you get clear about who you are. Clear in your thinking, clear in your emotional needs, clear in your values, clear in the stories you're allowing to run around in your head. And once you can see those thoughts for what they are, you can begin to shift. And that's what's happening. Like the ladies from last night, my group that just finished, it's amazing. It's absolutely, like, even for me, I know this work works. But I still marvel when I see the change and the shift that happens in their lives because they're actually applying the work. And to have my client this morning send me a picture of herself from what she looked like before she started the program and what she looked like by the end of the program. Her skin looked lighter, her eyes looked brighter, her energy, just even in the picture, her energy looked different. And in both pictures, she was smiling and having she would have said a good moment, but the before picture, she didn't know herself. She didn't know what she was capable of. She didn't understand. She just had this sad, pitiful story that she was constantly telling, and she felt like this is what my life is and this is how it has to be and there's nothing I can do about it. Where now she realizes that, wow, I can shift everything. Like, I don't need something outside of myself to do all of this work. Absolutely, I teach that you connect with the divine. But at the end of the day, God does not do the work for you. I was listening recently to T.D. Jakes, and T.D. Jakes said, God doesn't make chairs. He makes trees. And so if you're praying for a chair, I mean, if you're praying for, Lord, give me the job, Lord, help me run the business, God is like, I gave you the tree. Go do the work so you can do the thing that you're asking for. You don't need to ask God to pay your bills. That's a low-level prayer. You just need to learn how to manage money. He gave you the trees. Guess what they make out of trees? Money. The trees make paper. So he's already given you the resource. Use the resources. So this is Kenesha with VeryThoughtfulLife.com. Check me out. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. I hope that you will begin to be empowered and not allow your thoughts, your negative self-talk, or your fear to continue to control your life. But you will take hold of your thoughts. The Bible says, take every thought captive that does not align with like telling you who you are in Christ. So take every thought captive, start doing that, and moving towards the life of your dreams. So again, this is Kenesha with VeryThoughtfulLife.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.